everyone, today we are going to learn about one of the most powerful and important concepts in object-oriented programming, which is inheritance in Java. Let's start with a real-life example that everyone can relate to. Think about a family. A child inherits certain characteristics from their parents, maybe their eye color, their height, their talents, or their personality. But the child also has their own unique characteristics that the parents do not have. Inheritance in Java works exactly the same way. In Java, one class can inherit the properties and methods of another class. The class that is inherited from is called the superclass. The class that inherited from is called the superclass, also known as the parent class or base class. So the class that is inherited from is the superclass, also known as the parent class or base class, and the class that does the inheriting is called the subclass, also known as the child class or derived class. The class that does the inheriting is called the subclass, also known as the child class or derived class. The subclass gets all the non-private properties and methods of the superclass and can also add its own unique properties and methods on top. Think of it like this. Instead of building a new house from scratch every time, you start with an existing house design and just add what you need. You save time, effort, and resources. So to use inheritance in Java, we use extends keyword. Let me write the syntax. So you already know that in creating a Java class, either you can write the access modifier or not in the class keyword, then the name of the class. So the name of the class we want and be the subclass or the child class. So I write subclass name, then the keyword extends, and then the name of superclass. And of course, the curly braces, and inside the curly braces you can add additional properties and methods. Let's see a real example. Let's create an animal class, which is our superclass. So first let me find our project. I think our project is maybe first program. Yeah. So inside .com basics package, I create a new class by clicking on it, right click, and then I go new, and then class. I name the class as animal, and then finish. I have a class named animal, so then I want to create another class. I click on the package name com.basic, right click, new, again class, and I name my class name as, for example, dog. So inside animal class, I go inside it. It is my super class. Let me write it here, super class, to avoid any confusion. Super class, or you can also say parent class, whatever you like to call. So inside animal, I create two variables, string name and age, and I also create two methods, public void, the name of the class eat, curly braces, So I also want to print name concatenation is eating. Now let's go for the second method, public access notifier. Void the name of the method, curly braces, inside it I write says out, and I want to be printed name plus whatever is sleeping. So I have created a superclass name animal, two variables name and age, and then two methods, which is eat and sleep. And now let's go for a second class that we have created. So this class is a child class. To show that this class is a child class of animal, we should use the keyword extends after the name of the child class name, extends. And then we should write the name of the superclass, animal. Let me write first in here that it is a subclass, or which is also known as child class. So now inside it, we can also create some properties for this class. For example, a new variable, string breed, another method, public, void bark, curly braces. Inside it I want to be written name plus is barking. So notice something really interesting. Dog has its own property, breed, and its own method, bark, right? But it also has access to name and age from animal class and can use the eat and sleep methods too, even though we never wrote them in the dog class. So let's test it. Let's first have a space proposed. Now let's create an object to call. Okay, how we can create an object? We copy the name of the class, dog. Then we create a reference variable, dog equal new. Then again the name of the class, parentheses and semicolon. So now with the help of the name of reference variable, we assign the value. For example, for the name variable, which is in the animal class. So what we can name this dog, whatever we like. For example, Bruno. We can do the same for other variable like age. It's an integer, for example, it's 3 years old, and we can also do the same for breed, which is inside this class. You can write whatever you know, where I'm not an expert in this, so I write something randomly. So now to call our methods, we have one method in this class, and we have two methods in the parent class. Let me just call them one by one. Dog, the reference variable. The first method was eat. Dog. The second method was sleep. And the third method, which is inside this class, is bark. Let me run the program. Yeah, Bruno is eating, Bruno is sleeping, Bruno is barking. Dog, I mean the class which is called or named as dog, inherited eat and sleep from animal class and added its own bark method on top. This is the power of inheritance. So now let's talk about why inheritance exists, because understanding the purpose makes it much easier to use it correctly. First, code reusability. Instead of rewriting the same code in multiple classes, you can write it once in a superclass and all classes automatically get it. Second, save time and resources. Less code means less time writing, less time debugging, and less chance of making mistakes. Now let's go over some really important rules about inheritance in Java that everyone should know. Rule number 1, the object class is the superclass of every class in Java, even if you do not extend any class. Your class automatically extends the object class. Don't worry about this there, we will talk about in upcoming videos. Rule number 2, the superclass can have any number of subclasses or child classes. Like anyone can have a class named dog, cat, bird, house, as many subclasses as you need. But a subclass can only have one superclass. In Java, a class cannot extend more than one class at the same time. This is called single inheritance, and we will talk about this in our next video for sure. And of course, if a variable or method in the superclass is marked as private, the subclass cannot access it. Only public and protected members are inherited. There are more other rules that we will talk about in upcoming videos. And for now, that is inheritance in Java. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe the channel so you never miss a video. See you in the next one.